guys, this is the Celtic cross spread that's been laid out for you, and I'm just going to first of all start off with showing you each position and what it means. So we've got position 1, this is the querent or the subject, the present, what's going on at the moment, what the issues are, or the heart of the matter. So this is this one here. This is number 2, position 2, and this is what crosses the querent or the issues in a positive or a negative way. And then we've got position 3 here, this one there, and then this is the reasons that's led to this point, the foundations or how the querent got here. I mean, the querent may be aware of this situation or they may not be. This is position 4, the recent past, and this is position 5, the querent's wishes, goals or possibility, and it can also indicate a possible outcome or an influence. Okay, this is position 6, the near future and what is developing, and then we've got position 7, this is the outlook of the querent towards the situation and how they see the situation in general. This is position 8, the environment of the querent or the surrounding influences, position 9, hopes and fears, and position 10, the possible outcome if a change of course hasn't been made. Okay, and if you have got time, you can write those down, those positions, or just head over to my site at the tarotmentor.com and you can go to the resource section, and if you print out the PDF on the Celtic cross, that will be all written down for you. You can just follow it along. Okay then, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look at each position in the card, and we're going to look at other things, and we're going to break it down into such a way so it sort of makes it a little bit easier for you to understand. Okay, so the first thing you do is you look at what elements you've got on the table. So we notice that there's real loads of cards that are swords. So there's a high, strong element of air surrounding this reading. So a lot of thinking going on, perhaps, a lot of belief. There could even be conflict, whatever the air sign stands for. So then we've got sword, 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 okay? And we look at what other elements we've got. So we've got fire, we've got earth, and we've got water. Okay, and this is the only major arcana card, so I'd look at what the major arcanas are and look at all my reversals, because of course if you've got any reversals, we've then got to work out if the energy's blocked, overactive, underdeveloped, or simply just the opposite meaning of the upright card. So they're the first things we should do. Now while we're looking at the elements, we need to see if there's any element that's missing. Is there anything missing? Is there an energy missing? So for example, we've got, this is a fire card here, but if that wasn't there, we've got earth, air, water, we could say, well, there's no fire. So we could say the energy of the fire card is perhaps missing. So this could mean there's a lack of creativity or a lack of passion surrounding something, okay? And the same as if you remove the water, we could say we're lacking in emotional energy, okay? But we've got all the energies here. We've just got an abundance of swords. So first of all, what we do after we've got the energies there, we've learnt the energies. Now we need to see what cards are interacting and how they're interacting. So before I do that, I'd look at the time of day this is happening. So for example, this is a night card. This is clearly a card at dawn. This is a new day dawning here. These are day cards. Okay, so this suggests that whatever this spread is about, it's happening all the time, 24/7, through the night, through the day. So if you look at this and you think, well, there's a lot of mental things going on here regarding there's so many swords, just sort of thinking. So there's so much thinking. This is happening to the querent 24/7. Okay, it's not just happening overnight or in her dreams, it's happening 24/7. She's thinking about whatever this situation is. Okay, so that's the first thing I would do after looking at the elements. Then I would see the interaction. Does a card look like it's ignoring another card? Now these two cards here, they represent the outcome. This is the outcome if the querent stays on the same trajectory. And this is an alternate outcome, okay? Maybe it's what the querent's thinking about, perhaps, but, you know, not necessarily. And if we look at that, they sort of generally marry up, these cards. But if we look at that, this card looks like just the behaviour of this chap here. It looks like he's sort of like sneaking off. I mean, this is a card that suggests that anyway, but he does look like he's turning his back on this option here. So it's just to see if somebody looks like they're ignoring somebody, or they're turning their back, or they're walking away. This can also give you an idea of how the cards play with each other, if you like, in the spread. So if I start here at card number 1, we've got the 3 of Pentacles. Now I've had a look at this reading, and I would suggest that this is the querent, this one, and the querent's busy creating something for herself. Now this is a card of the Apprentice, but it looks to me like she's creating some sort of new stability for herself. She's designing something, she's creating something, she's making herself some money, financially secure, stable, etc. And the reason I think she's doing that is because in the past she's been in this situation which has left her feeling very trapped. And I think the way she's trying to get herself out of this situation and leave it behind is to start something new. Something new, and this could be whittling away, making finances, or creating something for herself, okay? Now, this card here, the card that crosses her, is the Knight of Wands. Now, this could be represent a person that's in the querent's life, and if it was a person, this could represent, because it's a fire card, the Wands, this could represent a Sagittarius, Aries or Leo personality, okay? Or it could be the querent themselves. But in this instance, I think this because this is the card that's crossing here, and I think this is what the querent, this is who she wants to be, who she wants to evolve to become, if you like. And the Knight of Wands is this character. He loves his freedom, he likes his foreign travel, he's a bit of an entrepreneur, and he's very creative type. And I think that freedom thing, to me, it's just everything's saying this she's trying to get away from this feeling of being trapped. So she's creating something in order to give her the freedom that she's been, you know, craving, because she's been so trapped and wound in this situation for so long. Obviously, the foundation here, what's going on, you could look at this in lots of different ways, but it often represents like the Death card does in with the Major Arcana, the Minor Arcana. This often represents that it's just the ending of something, the start of a new adventure, because, you know, the clouds are dissipating there, the new day is dawning, everything's looking a little bit brighter. So what's been pinning him down, what's been tying him up, holding him back, things, you know, we're coming out of that now, perhaps. Now, it depends which way that they want to come out of that. This could be, you know, we're going to leave by the front door, or we're going to leave by the back door. This is what's sort of looking to me that the querent's face, in a way of, does she sneak off, or does she go through the motions and go leave the proper way, get out of this situation by following this to the letter. Now this here, I would like to see if it was likely to happen, this freedom, and to find out if these cards gel well. So I'd look at these two cards here, and I'd look at the Pentacles, and I'd look at the Wands, which is fire, and so I'd look at Earth, and I'd look at fire, and they strengthen each other, or they're neutral. These are the elemental dignities, basically. Now, because fire finds fuel from Earth. So I would suggest that these two cards together are very strong, and it's likely to happen. It's likely to happen. So I think the querent, I could tell the querent that this energy, this freedom she's craving, I think is likely to happen, because these cards marry up nicely together. So, and you can use this for all the cards that sit next to each other. Now, obviously, in this case, these are air cards that sit in position next to each other. They're all air cards, and it's all this, like I say, thinking, and it's just doubled that. It's enhanced the thinking process, the belief, all the things that air stands for. It's just enhanced here because there's so many of them. if we go over to the Queen of Pentacles there, this is how the querent sort of the outlook of her towards the situation, or probably how she sees herself. And it's quite strange because this card marries up with that card nicely. They're both pentacles, so this is clearly the querent and this is clearly the querent. And she sort of looks like she's got herself to the, you know, well, I can cope, I'm doing okay for money, and I've got my little trade I've been working on, and I'm you know, it all looks fine to her. But what's surrounding her is an element of confusion. Now, we look at maybe there's something she's not seeing, that she's not picking up on, because if we look at the girl on the crescent moon there, she's sort of ignoring the dogs, she's ignoring the warning, and if maybe she can't see because the moon is only at half illumination there, but if we look at the water in that card, and it's really choppy, really choppy, that suggests her emotions are quite choppy. But then if you look at the Six of Swords as well, that card, even though this is an air card, the water there is very choppy. So this suggests there's a lot of emotions here. There's a lot of emotions. But the thing is, what I would look at is the fact that this is an earth card and this is a water card. Now, when you look at earth and water, they reinforce each other. They reinforce the stability, if you like, because they're passive. So the strength of the earth can balance the emotions of the water. So in other words, this character, the querent, she's got quite strong when she's got to this point, and she's able to balance her own emotions and put everything into sort of a perspective. So I have no worries that that's going to cause her any problems here. Now this card here, now the Five of Swords, we could look at this in so many different ways, but I feel that this is saying that the querent is a little bit scared. This is something to do with this emotions here, a little bit scared of being left on her own. You know, this guy here he's won the swords, but now he's on his own, and I think she's a bit scared of this whole new transition and moving away. She's scared probably, or not scared, but concerned about being on her own. So what we do here is we look at water. This is water and this is air. So water and air, they strengthen each other or are neutral, and water can balance the thinking process of air. So in other words, whatever she's learned, however she's learned to deal with these emotions here, she can put that into action by controlling this whole part of her. And this is her surrounding influences and her hopes and her fears. So it's just a fear that she can basically put to bed, not worry about it, and get on with everything. And as long as she keeps on this trajectory that she's on at the moment. Then, of course, we look at the Six of Swords. Now, the Six of Swords is our possible outcome card if nothing changes. And again, this choppy water here and this smooth water here. So it's a card of travel, because we're travelling from out of a stormy situation, if you like, into a more calmer one. You know, there's a promise of a new beginning there. And this is really odd because this card should really marry up with this card as well, because this is the future and this is a possible future outcome. So if we look at that, now this can be a card of travel, but this can also, the travel can indicate like a retreat or somewhere sort of calm. And so this could indicate that after all this stress and thinking, the querent is going, not only moving to a better place, to a more calmer life. She may be taking a holiday vacation there, but it might be somewhere like a retreat. Now this card here, this card is the future, and it's just basically saying, you know, stop what you're doing, slow down, take a chill. And this could be also like a period of convalescing, which you would do if you went on holiday, you know, and into a retreat, or just a holiday vacation where you get a chance to relax. So for the querent, we would see that she's progressing out of this sort of mental anguish, really. And when she gets to here, she's got a chance, when she gets to the other side, to offload all that mental baggage and start afresh. Now it's up to her, I would say, whether she chooses to go down this route and after she's trying to gain this freedom, or does she sort of sneak off a little way, because maybe there's an option for her to leave whatever she's in a, not an underhand way, although I do see that card as that. It's a bit, you know, it's a bit of a sneaky card, but there is that's there, but that's up to her. That's an alternate outcome. Well, thanks guys for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something from it. And if you did, and if you like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel, and next time I post a video you'll be the first to know. Thanks for watching. Bye.